In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, and we're here at what are we at here? 1:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing around with the times, ladies and gents. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Crusader, what did you do for Christmas?
I survived. That's what I did. I survived.
So that's how we're going to start measuring Christmases, as to whether our heart's still beating afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's a bleak outlook. I know things have been a little tough out there in these crypto markets, but if that's how we're using, if that's the metric that we're using, well, things are not as merry and jolly as we would have liked. Crypto fam, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Looking forward to spending some time with you guys here in a few months and celebrating what we've done here and what we continue to do here. So make sure that you're getting involved with Danger Close Alpha if you're not already. May 12th through the 14th. It's coming up quick. Make sure you got your bug out bags. We're going to have some fun out in Ohio and learn a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure to smash the likes. Get involved with us on Twitter, TikTok, all the socials. You know what to do. Let's kick it off. Let's check out what the markets are doing. Actually, hold on a second. So yesterday for Christmas, it was the first year. I just wanted to touch on this. It was the first year. So your daughter is how old is she now, Miguel? What is it?
11 months.
11 months. Okay. So last year, my daughter would have been about 7 or 8 months. So still too young to really understand Christmas. Well, this year she wasn't. So let me ask you this. Was your daughter still too young to really kind of get what was going on, or where's she at with the whole presents?
I mean, at first she didn't know what they were, right? But slowly she picked up like how to rip the wrapping paper, and you saw her starting to rip it, right? She was more interested in the paper than the gifts, right? Because they were still in a box. But once you took them out of the box and actually showed them what it was, then she got excited. She's having a great time playing with all her toys right now.
Dude, it's so much fun. I put a poll up on Twitter asking if you'd rather give than receive, and I got to tell you, I've always been somebody that likes to give, but having a young daughter, son, child, whatever the case may be, it is so much fun. We were over at my father-in-law's last night. There's a huge pile of presents under the tree. Well, my father-in-law's girlfriend didn't have hers wrapped, so she looks over at the tree. She walks over there. She's mine, and starts freaking pulling these gifts out from underneath the tree. Trust me, dude, she understands what time it is when it came to Christmas. We had a lot of fun. She got a little kitchen, and my house has not been the same since. It's been a little bit of a wreck, if you will. So it's super fun. Looking forward to having a lot more Christmases as well. So at any event, just wanted to share that with the fam. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, I'm here for it. Let's check out what the markets are doing. Probably not a whole lot, but we'll take a peek. Let me update this. We have got the global crypto market cap at $810.88 billion with the B dollars. That's up 0.48%. Bitcoin at $16,838, pretty flat. ETH, $1,215.
Not much movement. No Santa rally this year.
Oh, hold on a second. We had a little XRP movement. XRP fan put them up 5.43% and 8% on the week. There is words, there's a little bit of birds chirping around the XRP community saying that there's a reason why we're starting to get a little bit of a pump. We'll have to bring Zach Rector on again soon and talk to him about what he thinks. I'm sure
it has something to do with the moon cycles. I'm sure.
I will tell you, listen, I heard him on a TikTok talking about a $50,000 per token buyback. Now, listen, I'm bullish on XRP and I love Zach Rector. Okay. If we have a $50,000 buyback at one time, I want everybody that's in the Discord to hit me up because I got money for you. I'm just gonna let everybody know now. I'm gonna be just passing out money at that point because it's gonna get wild.
I'm just letting everybody know if that ever occurs, I will never make content again. I will disappear from the crypto space. I will sell every piece of crypto.
You won't need to. I will bless you. I will bless you with retirement.
I'm not
with XRP
that
money. I will retire you via my XRP.
No, I will retire myself. Thank you.
Do you got anything on the charts that are?
Yeah, we can take a look. Yeah,
let's take a look
at the charts.
We got some Lux Algo love coming for you. If you guys are looking for a really simple indicator to get involved with, so simple. that Keeper and Crusader, well, I just should say So Simple Keeper is starting to understand it.
So Keeper,
You guys should check
Caveman
this
can
out.
do it.
That's right. So Simple Keeper can do it.
So as you can see here, we're going to jump into the 1 hour, right? So yesterday, earlier today, like around 3 in the morning, we had this massive run up. We got a strong sell buy signal down here. We had to bounce off this reversal cloud here for the bullish side. The minute we hit this top side, we didn't get a sell signal, but you should be taking this indicator here. If you're hitting this top side, it's time to start taking some profits. And exactly what happened, we started to come right back down. The EQ cloud started to flip bearish, and we've been coming down since then, right? Even though we still have this strong buy signal here on the trend catcher with this green line, you got a strong sell here. If you would have paid attention and been looking at this cloud up here, this upper band, then you would definitely have known that you should have been taking profit before that. That's on the 1 hour. Out into the 4 hour, as you can see here, we have also been going straight into the red since the 16th, right? Ever since we had that 18, 17 price movement, we came back down. The strong trend turned red, and we've been going nothing but down and sideways since then. As you can see here, the two upper bands and lower bands are starting to come together, right, into a contraction kind of phase. Eventually, we're going to have some type of movement, right? We've been going sideways here for a good amount of time. Eventually, we're going to have an upward or downward, most likely downward. As you can see, this EQ cloud is red. The trend catcher is also red. So it's only a matter of time before we come down, we hit this lower band here in the bullish side, and then might have a bounce, but did not come for Santa, guys. So sorry. First year.
No Santa rally.
Yeah, first time I think in 13 years that there was no Santa rally.
But stick around till the end. I want to throw out there, we have someone that is predicting a $1.8 million Bitcoin by 2020?
2026.
26. Is it 26?
Yeah, something like that.
I even thought it might have been 2024 for some. At any event, it's a large number that we could all get on board with. Sorry to interrupt.
That's all a big number in 4 years?
Yeah,
3 years.
Wild.
We're basically already in 2023.
Yeah.
As you can see here on the daily as well, we have broken out of this regression trend, but we have not been able to keep too much price movement happening. Everything has been very negative, strong sell signals. Nothing here for being bullish for Bitcoin at all, except for this MACD with Lux that we have flipped to the bullish for a short period of time right now. That just started to happen in the last 3 days. But, this is not what you want to be trading off of on the daily. So the daily is still very, very negative.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Crusader. I just want to tell the crypto fam, we are trying to do some more trading for you guys. So we both have trading accounts. We've started to learn some of the Lux algo and dive farther into this. There's been a lot of people really successful with it, and it is a simple indicator package. So we will keep you updated. We were going to do some sort of maybe like a little competition or something, but the reality is with all we have going on with the NFTs, everything going on just in the channel, moving times, start of the new year, holidays, everything, it just didn't make sense right now, but maybe we'll figure out setting something up at some point. It's just not going to be right this second, but we are definitely diving more into trading, and that's for each and every one of you. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. All right, let's dive into it. It is it's time to check out what's going on in the news world of the crypto space. Check this out. Crypto's down bad, but VCs keep pouring money in. After the collapse of FTX, Web3 VCs say they believe in decentralized tech. Whoopsie. Okay, that's going to be a little too zoomed in there, apparently. As much as ever. What the hell else can they say? Whoa, aggressive. Given the contagion and chaos that we've witnessed since SBF's crypto exchange FTX had a sudden multi-billion-dollar coronary, you may be tempted to conclude that the entire crypto industry is headed for a great Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing in the sky, and that nobody in their right mind could possibly still have faith in it. And yet, even in the frigid, cold crypto winter, venture capital money continues to pour in for very certain lucky builders. Now, we don't even, to be fair, we don't really need to dive into what the different, VC, firms are that's diving in. The reality is, and I want to hear what your thoughts on this are, Crusader. The fact is, no matter who it's pouring into, the markets have been absolute trash overall, but money's coming in, right? People are still saying, hey, I'm putting my money there. Why would money continue to pour in with these markets being absolutely dog doo-doo?
Because they understand that that's the time to buy, right? They want to keep this narrative, and at the same time, they're saying, right, they're buying, but wait, yeah, we don't see a price movement going to the upside. And why is that? Right? Because they're doing OTC deals, they're doing all these other type of deals to be able to make sure that they keep the price suppressed, they keep the negative information out there, and they're loading up their bags, right? Fidelity is one of the largest institutions out there getting into the crypto game. They've been mining Bitcoin since 2015. They've been in Bitcoin for a very long time, and they still haven't really fully released their entire services to all their clientele. So there, it just tells you that VCs understand Bitcoin, they understand crypto. Obviously they're not going to be jumping into all these crazy altcoins, Shiba Inu, and all this stuff. But Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 10 or so coins they're going to be jumping into for sure, and providing that service to their clientele. So it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin and Ethereum comes back up. Once they, release the floodgates one more time and push the markets back up, they understand this will happen. And they're loading up their positions around making sure that everyone else is panic selling their positions.
It's literally the exact same thing Crusader and I have been telling you for a long time. It might be the scary thing to do, but when everybody is panicked and running away from the markets, that's the time where you hold strong. It's not financial advice. It's just I can tell you from my personal experience, Crusader's personal experience, those times have been the most profitable for us long term. It's tough. It's not easy. However, it really can be a way to stack long term as long as you have some patience. And again, as always, not putting money in that you need for your mortgage tomorrow. So be smart, pay attention, and maybe you can capitalize on some of these markets being absolutely hammered right now. So I guess we'll see where that heads. Hopefully it gets back to the upside sooner than later. But if we're going to stay down, I mean, hey, I'm going to continue to stack because I want as many sats and Gwei as humanly possible. So that's what it is for me. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin mining. Before I pull this article up, Crusader, I know we've been talking about the weather a decent little bit. And up here in Ohio, no kidding, the with the wind chill, we were at -42, I believe was the lowest that I saw. Okay. The actual temperature, I think, got down to about -18 at one point. And it was absolutely miserable. Okay. It was so cold that the ice that they throw ice on the streets. No, that the salt that they put out on the streets was not effective. It literally would not work. It was too cold for the salt to melt the ice, which I thought was really interesting. That being said, a lot of people's power went down. What do we use to mine Bitcoin? Oh yeah, we've got to use power. So this actually, believe it or not, some storms have affected some of the hash rate. So let's take a look at that and see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin hash rate suffers 40% drop amid U.S. deadly winter storm as extreme weather conditions left more than 1 million without power on Friday. Several U.S.-based Bitcoin miners have paused operations. Bitcoin's hash rate plummeted by 38% in the run-up to the holiday weekend as U.S.-based miners shut down operations during a bout of extreme weather. What meteorologists are calling a bomb cyclone, which has stirred up blizzard-like conditions in some places, has left many in Maine and New York without power, according to data from Power Outages U.S. As of Friday, there were more than 1 million businesses and homes without power. This has also taken a deep toll on various miners too, who've rushed to turn off their machines. According to Glassnode, the network's hash rate fell 156.36 exahashes on December 24th from 252.98 on December 21st, which is the biggest daily drop since the beginning of June. Crusader, can you explain to me or explain to the people as if they're in kindergarten, why does hash rate, or can you either explain what hash rate is or why hash rate matters as it relates to mining, why this is a big deal?
Yeah, so think of it as a cup of water, right? The more hash rate, the more the cup is filled up with water, right? And then as you have a hash drop, imagine the cup has a little hole and you start leaking some water as it starts coming down. The less hash rate that you have, right, the less people are on the network securing the network of Bitcoin. Does that mean that Bitcoin's network is more vulnerable? Technically, yes, but there's still such a large amount of hash rate on there that is still very, very secure. That being said, less miners, meaning there's going to be a difficulty adjustment, meaning that there could be some more Bitcoin produced a little bit faster. These adjustments happen all the time. There's nothing to worry about. They happen quite often. There's a surge of miners coming online. The difficulty goes up, and right now we're seeing a surge downward of a 40%. So we're going to see it come down a bit. But that being said, 40% sounds like a large number, but it's still, there is very large amounts of people and hash rate out there for the Bitcoin network. That being said, this could lead into the minor capitulation that a lot of people have been talking about, which would be the next cause for Bitcoin to drop in price. Is these miners having to go offline, not being able to recover, and then saying, "Well, now it's time to start selling our Bitcoin off because we are in the negative, we're losing money," and they run businesses, right? We just saw that there was a company, a Bitcoin mining company, I forget the name right now, that I think just filed for bankruptcy literally about a week ago or so. And now that the storm is happening, a lot of things are shutting down. Could be the next catalyst for Bitcoin's price to drop eventually. Not because Bitcoin's in a bad position, but the miners, everybody's waiting for the miner capitulation. If you listen to anybody, they're all saying, well, the miners haven't capitulated yet. That's the next part of the cycle.
Dude, I think it's crazy, and it just shows the pure genius that is instilled into the code of Bitcoin. The fact that when less people are mining, the difficulty gets easier for the miners to be able to produce the Bitcoin. It literally is built into the code to make it efficient and to make the continuous movement of Bitcoin being mined. It's wild. It's really a beautiful thing. I love Bitcoin for that because it just makes sense. There was a lot of thought. Whoever was Satoshi Nakamoto or is or whatever, put a lot of thought into hard money and what a gold 2.0 or however you want to look at Bitcoin really looks like and how it's produced. So I think it's just a beautifully genius thing that we see when we look at Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens. The reality is there's a number, and I forget what they call this, but there is a point at which the rate or the dollar amount that they're paying for the power doesn't line up with the amount to produce the Bitcoin, and all of a sudden they're kind of flop into the negative. I think that's kind of what you were alluding to, Crusader. There's a word for it. I forget what it is, but effectively, like you said, it's a business, right? We have not hit that yet. That's not happening. They are still very profitable. I think the last I heard, the miners were spending somewhere around 13,000 and some change to create a Bitcoin, and they're selling it 16.8 right now. And so I forget what that term is called, but we're nowhere near that yet. So hopefully we continue in the right direction. So that's what's going on with the mining world. Let's take a quick pause for our prepper tip of the day. I think that this is an important thing. This is brought to you by Danger Close Alpha. If you are not already involved in Danger Close Alpha, make sure that you guys get involved. We're doing a lot of really good stuff. Ultimately, we are bringing knowledge to people in the reality that we live in, kind of a crappy, questionable world right now. I saw a really interesting TikTok that I want to repost it. I want to duet it, but it's like, I think it's literally like 6 minutes. It's really long, right? But it effectively talks about the 80-year cycles. And it goes back through of 80-year cycles of basically where there's people on the front end, 20 years-ish, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years. Well, we're on the tail end of that 20 years, and the last 20 years is basically chaos, right? Before we then reset, the chaos is like a forest fire that needs to happen because it clears out the underbrush. And then boom, we start back over, and then you have the people. I forget what they call it. I should have pulled this up, but ultimately, I thought it was really interesting. We are talking about prepping because we are in that chaos time. We are in that questionable at best time period where political divides, everything just between two people, living on the same street can't agree on anything anymore. So make sure that you're paying attention. So some of the prepper tips, I just want to hit this one real quick. Well, maybe if I had it, where did my, oh, here it is. Sorry. All right. So let's talk about the longest non-perishable food items. I'm just going to run through some of them. Bullion cubes. I don't have the length of time, the shelf life on that one. Peanut butter, 2 years. Dark chocolate, 2 to 5 years. Canned or vacuum pouched tuna, 3 to 5 years. Dried beans, indefinite. Honey, indefinite. Liquor, indefinite. Rice, indefinite. So when we talk about some very simple things and ideas that you can get at the grocery store for things that just buying some extras, can you buy rice from the grocery store? Yes, indefinite. Can you buy beans from the grocery store? Yes, indefinite. Can you buy liquor from the grocery store? Well, just ask, a few of the people in the chat right now. Yes, indefinite. There are things that you can buy that ultimately are going to be around forever that give you the vitamins and nutrients that you need, or have multi-purposes such as alcohol. The alcohol is not for you just to get hammered. There's a lot of actually really good uses for liquor as well. So that is your prepper tip of the day. Make sure that you understand how long the shelf life is for what you are purchasing, and you can extend that out depending on what you do. There's some really great ideas as it relates to vacuum sealing things. Makes a huge difference. You suck all that air out, boom, it changes the shelf life. And then obviously it depends on what it is that you're actually buying. So that's your prepper tip of the day by DCA. What do we have left? What are we at? Are we at 1,200 and something right now on the commodities?
About there. I think we're 1,100. Sorry, I think we're
Okay.
1,100.
All right, so make sure that you guys get involved. I'm actually going to update this real quick and double check. We have our commodities drop that's happening. If you didn't know, the commodities are going for 0.01 each. And these are, let me see, drum roll, please. We're at 1,100. We need to get to 2,500. So help us get there, and we'll keep it rocking and rolling so we can give away 5 ETH. That's that. All right. Let's talk about your boy Peter Schiff. This is Crusader's best friend right here. Peter Schiff. Check out Peter. There's the man right there. Peter Schiff has Christmas gift for Bitcoin hodlers. On Christmas Day, the loudest anti-Bitcoin voice had yet another message to share with Bitcoin proponents. A price chart suggesting Bitcoin is closer to its ceiling than its floor. My Christmas gift to hodlers is this Bitcoin chart, tweeted Schiff. He then asserted that the upside potential of Bitcoin is so low and the downside risk is so high, the smart move is to sell today. He followed up his thoughtful gesture by warning hodlers to sell today due to the potential high downside risk relative to low upside potential. He then finished off with a gracious closing, offering hodlers to thank him later for the money they will save by selling today. This man right here is the absolute enemy of Bitcoin, but I think that there's more there. Crusader, why would somebody of this caliber that loves gold so much be so vehemently against Bitcoin? Is he really? Is this a front? What do you think? What do you think?
It's not right. His son is big into Bitcoin, so he's literally diversifying his family. He runs a gold business, right? It looks good for him to fight against Bitcoin for the gold clients that he has, right? To keep that business going. It is great engagement farming on Twitter, right? Everybody brings him on their shows because everybody wants to put him next to a Bitcoin person to talk about Bitcoin so he can talk about gold, right? So it's a great marketing tactic by him to stay relevant into the Web3 space with Bitcoin, talking about gold and literally going up against it. Pop has had him on, CNBC has him on, everybody has him on just to go up against somebody that's pro Bitcoin and he can talk about gold. So for his business and marketing, it's a great tactic, and that's all it is in my eyes.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's kind of similar to Jamie Dimon. If you don't know who the CEO of Chase Bank is, Jamie Dimon, he was and has always talked trash about Bitcoin. But as he was doing that, he was actively investing in Bitcoin, both directly and indirectly. And so you don't always watch what they say, but watch what they do. And I do wonder, I know Peter Schiff isn't rooting for his son's demise, right? You always wonder, is he diversified into Bitcoin in some sort of, low-key secret way with his son, through his son?
That way he can say, hey, it's not me, it's my son, but who's giving him the money?
Yeah, and even if he's not, he is, because via, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, de facto, he's invested in the fact that it is his son, right? You can't tell me that anything that has to do with our daughters doesn't have to do with us. He
doesn't want his son to go broke and lose every single penny he has. Absolutely not, right? He wants his son to succeed. That's the next generation of his family, of his legacy. So he's setting him up, right, to succeed in Bitcoin. So it's Fugazi.
So just somebody in the chat was just saying that they were having something going on in the Discord. Reach out to us on Discord. We will try to figure out what you got going on. We can help you out. So just throwing that out there. All right, cool. Let's check out the 7 biggest crypto crashes or collapses of 2022. So I'm sure most of you could probably rattle these off, but we're going to hit on them. 7 biggest collapse of 2022. The industry would love to forget. Axie Infinity's Ronin Bridge hacked. That was about $625 million. That was a big one for sure. Terra Luna, we all know about that. $2 billion was unstaked. Hundreds of millions of United States dollars were quickly liquidated. That was terrible. I've never seen, Crusader, I've never seen in all the time that I've been in crypto. We've seen rug pulls, right? Where a token will unlock and then, right? And it just absolutely crashes. I've never seen something move to zero so freaking fast on such a large scale. What was Terra? Was Terra up to like number 6 or 7? I mean, it was way
It was up there.
Right?
It was definitely up there. I don't remember what number it was.
Yeah, and it just absolutely crashed down to nothing. I mean, look at this, up over $1 on May 7th, and a week later, it was down to almost zero, which is absolutely nuts. 3 Arrows Capital. This is a big one that people have been talking about and bringing up as part of the FTX debacle as well. Voyager, another piece of that puzzle. They've been offering to buy, or had been offering to buy out Voyager and all of their debt and liabilities. And then the Celsius crash and liquidity crisis, which obviously many of you are familiar with Celsius. Unfortunately, I met a woman down in the Bahamas that lost, her $1.4 million worth of life savings through most of it being Celsius. And then obviously the FTX collapse is going to be, at the tail end here with BlockFi going into bankruptcy. What can we learn from, and we've been talking about these a lot, what can we learn from all of these massive companies that are worth billions or hundreds of millions of dollars collapsing? What is the common theme that you and I and every single person here watching need to keep in mind and remember?
Be your own bank. It's that simple. That's what crypto's about. You're not your own bank. You're literally putting your entire portfolio at risk of something happening that is out of your control, right? And being your own bank sounds scary. Oh, it's a lot of responsibility. But who's going to take better care of your money than you yourself? Why are you trusting these institutions, right? And it's proven time and time and time again that in crypto, if you are not your bank, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Yep. It is literally the ethos of crypto. I know so many times you've heard us talk about it and you're just thinking, oh, well, it's easier. And I can get it right off of an exchange. I think a lot of times we talk about this too, is like people are willing to sacrifice security for safety, security for speed. And that's just absolutely, for convenience, speed. Absolutely not. It doesn't technically full on add that much extra time, especially once you're familiar with your hardware wallet. So if you guys are looking for a hardware wallet, little Addison is actually sleeping, so she's not going to be in here for the daily reminder to get yourself not FTX'd. But yeah, the link is down below for a ledger. I would definitely encourage you. And they have the new one coming out. What's the new one called? The Stacks. Looks like the old iPod or whatever. So looks pretty dope. Now, to finish it off, I want to throw out, first of all, quick reminder, make sure you're following us on Twitter. Make sure you smash the likes, and then make sure you are in the Discord. We appreciate all of the love on all of those. We're going to be highlighting some other projects and people here coming up soon that you guys are going to need to pay attention to as part of the opportunity to win 5 Ethereum. Okay. So just make sure that you're really paying attention to all of our social media channels, not just a couple of them. So make sure to do that. All right. So this one's fun to end this with. We're talking about Bitcoin at $1.8 million. This number seems wild to me. Let's just talk about it briefly. Historical Bitcoin Merry Christmas cycle could send Bitcoin to $1.8 million in 4 years. Now it comes down here. Let me just show this chart. So it shows all-time high, Christmas 2011, all-time high, Christmas 2012, historical high, Christmas 2013. Then we kind of pull back. All-time high, Christmas 15, all-time high, Christmas 16, historical high, Christmas 17, kind of pull back a little bit. All-time high in 19, all-time high 20, historical high 21, boom, pull back. This Christmas, the beginning of the 4th historical Bitcoin Merry Christmas cycle, and then it's showing the same channel. And if this channel were to move at the rate at which it had in the past, I think it was what was it, like 10,000% that it would need to move to get to 10,614% from the assets price as where we are currently to get to that. So we are not here to sell you hopium. Okay. This is a technical analyst that's showing this. And there's a lot of things on charts that will end up playing out. And there's a lot of things that on charts that don't end up playing out. Me personally, I mean, do I want to see a $1.8 million Bitcoin? For sure, unless it's only a $1.8 million Bitcoin because of hyperinflation. Obviously, if a burger is $86 from McDonald's, then the 1.8 million is kind of a moot point. What are your thoughts when you see these huge numbers, Crusader? Because sometimes it's like, hey, we get lots of clicks on that article. Is that what we're going for here? Or do we really think that people believe we could get to that in 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the reality of it, right? But it's, a lot of analysts have looked at historical history and then said, well, if the trend continues, right, then that's what we should be at. And the trend is your friend until the end, right? A lot of models are correct until they're wrong. And the model's been right so far, and it projects something. Projections always aren't 100%. But you know what I will tell you is I think that this projection is a lot more realistic than your 50,000.
I already knew it.
It's 100% more effective.
Don't call it my $50,000 XRP. I was just throwing it out there that your boy Zach Rector, my boy Zach Rector, was throwing it out there.
You're part of the club, bro. You're part of the club by association. So you're gonna have to own that one way or the other.
Listen, a $1.8 million Bitcoin does nothing for me compared to a $50,000 XRP. So if I'm looking for some hopium, baby, let's go with that $50,000 XRP, baby. We're going to be going to the moon with that.
The bills, bro.
I know it doesn't. If only. Well, Crypto fam, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. We've got the holidays coming up. I will say, Crusader and I are working through. I'm going to be gone. I saw somebody being a little smart butt in the chat a little bit ago.
Oh, vacation time again already?
I know. Got to spend time with the family, bro. I still can. I will be down in Florida, but I plan on figuring out streaming. It might not be every day. We're going to work that out, but just wanted to make sure that you guys all show Crusader some love, as he is not going to be on vacation over the next week. And make sure to give him as much support as possible. Let's let everybody know that we are changing our time. We're playing with the time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We're trying to see if it works for our schedules, your schedules. We needed to make a change, so I hope that you guys can appreciate that, and we'll do what we got to do as we move forward. Anything we need to touch on, Crusader, before we dive off here?
Nah, man, the mint is still going, right? We're still doing that. It's going to be 5 ETH. Somebody's going to take that home. It's only a matter of time before that happens. So get involved while you still can.
Yeah, we're not going to listen just because things have been a little bit slow on the side of the mint. We want to thank every single person that's already involved. You guys have been a massive part of our community. You're going to continue to be. So we appreciate all of the love on that. And we are going to be giving away this 5 Ethereum. Just might take a little bit longer than expected to start the game, but we've got to continue to grow the community anyways. And so you guys can be a part of that by retweeting, making sure you're interacting and engaging with posts. Let's continue to interact and engage, especially when we have new people in the Discord. We've got some new stuff happening in the Discord that we're going to be working on as well. So just be paying attention. We love you guys, each and every one of you. I hope you have a absolutely happy holidays. Just remember, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like a tap.
We'll see you soon.